first question. So I have seen many people want to know about the the pattern of the exam of the George Technology Group, and they want to know what rounds are there. So so there are some written rounds and there are some interviews in our process, and this process is not is not fixed. This won't be for all of the time. ये प्रोसेस चेंज हो सकता है फ्यूचर में, सो इस पे इतना रिलाय मत करना जो मैं अभी इन्फॉर्मेशन दे रहा हूँ आपको। तो अभी के लिए तो अपने पास कुछ रिटर्न राउंड्स हैं, उसके बाद हम कुछ बेस्ड ऑन टेक इंटरव्यूज होते हैं, बेसिकली 3 to 4 and 2 to 3 written rounds. And this will be covered in detail in the pre-placement talks. So that's all in this question.
Hey guys, Svecha this side. I'll be taking up the next question. So there was one that said that you are not able to pass all the test cases while practicing. So how basically you can improve on that? So when it comes to test cases, it's more of how you apply your concepts and what all you are able to think about. तो प्रैक्टिस से ही आएगा और कोई तरीका नहीं है. Um, अगर आप टेस्ट केसेस नहीं कर पा रहे हो तो फर्स्ट आइडेंटिफाई व्हाट काइंड ऑफ टेस्ट केसेस यू आर नॉट एबल टू डू. मे बी देयर इज सम पर्टिकुलर टाइप दैट यू आर नॉट एबल टू थिंक अबाउट, लाइक नल केसेस नहीं देखे, नल ट्री है नल ट्री नहीं देखा, लीफ नोड्स नहीं देखे, डिस्टेंस निकालना है, हम लेफ्ट सब ट्री से राइट सब ट्री पे नहीं गए, या पेरेंट के थ्रू नहीं जा पा रहे, एंसेस्टर नहीं निकाल पा रहे. देयर कुड बी दोज थिंग्स, राइट? तो थोड़े पार्ट में आपके टेस्ट केस चल जाएंगे या छोटे पार्ट में चल जाएंगे. इट कुड बी बहुत बड़ा इंटीजर है वो आप नहीं क्लियर कर पा रहे, तो फर्स्ट आइडेंटिफाई व्हाट काइंड ऑफ टेस्ट केसेस यू आर नॉट एबल टू डू. उसके बाद उस तरह के क्वेश्चंस निकालो, उस पर फोकस करके प्रैक्टिस करो. प्रैक्टिस के बिना नहीं होगा. प्रैक्टिस इज व्हाट इज नीडेड फॉर ऑल ऑफ दिस.
guys, so next question जो है I think multiple लोगों से आया है. This is basically that if you are a person from a non-technical background and अभी आपने जो है वो technical background में आपने अभी interest लिया है, so how you should be preparing and किस type के experiences and projects you should be doing. So guys, it is not a very big thing अगर आप CSIT से बैकग्राउंड नहीं है आपका एंड यू वांट टू गो फॉर अ टेक्निकल जॉब. सो फर्स्ट थिंग दैट यू रियली नीड टू फोकस ऑन इज अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि आपको टेक्निकल जर्नी आपको कैसे करनी है. आपका इंटरेस्ट है कि नहीं वो सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है, बिकॉज अगर आप प्रोजेक्ट्स वगैरह करना चाहते हो एंड वो आपके अपने करिकुलम वगैरह में नहीं है तो आपको आउट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट करना पड़ेगा, आपको खुद से वो प्रोजेक्ट्स जो है वो इनिशिएट करने पड़ेंगे. सो इसके लिए इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर आप इस टेक्निकल फील्ड में घुसना चाहते हो तो आप किस तरीके से घुसना चाहते हो. क्या कोई पर्टिकुलर प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज है या आपको ओवरऑल ये फील्ड पसंद है, दैट इज व्हाई यू वांट टू गो फॉर इट, व्हाट इंटरेस्ट्स यू. एंड एक बार जब आप अपना इंटरेस्ट आइडेंटिफाई कर पाते हो व्हाट इज समथिंग दैट यू कैन डू ऑन योरसेल्फ, आप कुछ पर्सनल प्रोजेक्ट्स स्टार्ट कर सकते हो. 1 to 2 मंथ्स की ड्यूरेशन के लिए वो प्रोजेक्ट्स हो सकते हैं एंड आपको ऑनलाइन भी बहुत जगह पे हेल्प मिल जाएंगे, रिसोर्सेज मिल जाएंगे. आप अपने फ्रेंड से भी रीच आउट कर सकते हो अगर आप सीएसआईटी में किसी फ्रेंड को जानते हो. सो प्रोजेक्ट्स वगैरह आप वहां से स्टार्ट कर सकते हो. एंड जो प्रिपरेशन का हमने अभी पूरा गाइडलाइन दिया है, इट इज नॉट समथिंग दैट इज ओनली एप्लीकेबल टू सीएसआईटी स्टूडेंट्स. नॉन टेक्निकल स्टूडेंट्स भी जो है वो स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. सेम तरीके से आप कोडिंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे जाओगे, सो आपको बस ये स्टार्ट करना होगा कि आपको थोड़े लो लेवल प्रोग्राम से जाना होगा एंड आपको अपने बेसिक कंसेप्ट थोड़े ब्रश अप करने पड़ेंगे. अगर आपके अपने करिकुलम में नहीं है कि कंसेप्ट वगैरह क्या है तो आप ऑनलाइन गो थ्रू कर सकते हो, आपको रिसोर्सेज मिल जाएंगे. आई थिंक आज का सारे कोडिंग प्लेटफॉर्म पे बल्कि प्रॉपर थ्योरी के सारे कंसेप्ट जो है वो डिविजन लिखे हुए होते हैं कि डेटा स्ट्रक्चर के लिए कौन से कंसेप्ट हैं, क्या क्या आपको पता होना चाहिए, नहीं होना चाहिए. आपको ऑनलाइन वीडियो रिसोर्सेज भी बहुत सारे मिल जाएंगे जहां पर आपको एक एक कंसेप्ट जो है बहुत डेप्थ में पता चल जाएगा कि कैसे हुआ कैसे नहीं हुआ. इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज कि आप उसको अंडरस्टैंड कर पा रहे हो कि नहीं, आपको समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं, आपका इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है कि नहीं. एंड एक बार अगर आपका इंटरेस्ट डेवलप हो गया, आपको चीजें समझ में आने लग गई, देन आप सेम स्पीड पे आ जाओगे जैसे बाकी लोग हैं. सो यहाँ पर प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग आपकी बहुत अच्छी होनी चाहिए. प्रायर एक्सपीरियंस अगर हो तो बेटर होता है, बट ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि अगर आपका अपना इंटरेस्ट स्ट्रांग है तो आप बाकी सब चीजें जो है वो कवर अप कर पाओगे. ठीक है. एंड प्रोजेक्ट्स एंड एक्सपीरियंसेस का वही है, अगर प्रोजेक्ट्स आप पर्सनल जो है वो कुछ स्टार्ट कर सकते हो। एक्सपीरियंसेस अगर आपका टेक्निकल में इंटरेस्ट है तो मे बी पॉसिबल हो आपने कभी किसी हैकाथॉन वगैरह में पार्टिसिपेट किया हो, या फिर कॉलेज में कभी कुछ कॉम्पिटिशन्स वगैरह हुए हों, या कुछ आपने कहीं और पे पार्टिसिपेशन वगैरह दिखाया हो वेयर यू हैव डन गुड एज वेल, और यू हैव डन इट आउट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, आपने कुछ चीज अलग से इनिशिएट करी हो, तो वो चीजें आप हाईलाइट कर सकते हो। एंड मेक इट अवेयर टू योर इंटरव्यूअर एज वेल, लाइक व्हेन वी सेड कि आपको अपनी पर्सनल जर्नी जो है वो एक्सप्लेन करनी है, आपको एक ह्यूमन टच देना है अपने इंटरव्यू में, तो आप अपने इंटरव्यूअर को भी आप ये अपनी जर्नी बता सकते हो कि वेयर यू आर कमिंग फ्रॉम, हाउ यू आर गोइंग अबाउट इट, एंड आप आगे अपना फ्यूचर कैसे देख रहे हो टेक्निकल फील्ड में। सो दैट वुड ऑल्सो help the interviewer to understand your mind frame. Okay.
Okay, all right. Yes, thank you, Priya, for that. Now, next question we have is what we can expect from the technical interview. All right. So it can, like, from a technical interview, it can vary a lot of, company to company on round level to round level. So basically, I'll suggest you focus on the parameters which we have shared in the presentation. We ultimately everybody is trying to judge you on one of those parameters. They are trying to see some potential in you so that you guys can come and join them and help them in building those solutions and things like that. So we could have, like, there are certain topics which you can cover. One of them is your data structures. So as it was mentioned in one of the slides also, there are few basic data structures like array, linked list, trees. Then there are different kind of trees. First, understand what a tree is. What are the different, how do you approach a tree, how do you traverse it to solve different kind of problems, and then go on to the complex structures of trees, and then maybe the graphs. When it comes to array, start with the basic sorting algorithm. See how you can use that algorithm in any kind of worded problem. So always I'll suggest, when you are working on a data structures, start with a simple data structure, try to understand it completely, because any complex solution is ultimately built off of those basic data structure algorithms. Even if you will list out all your data structures you have, they are in a way or few, like, some are basic and then you build complex things out of it. So complex things can be built, but first you have to understand the simple structures and their behavior. That is where I will uh, suggest you to go on and stress on it. Next would be like coding. First, there are two different things I have already mentioned, that you first create an approach, an algorithm for a problem. That is one aspect, and coding it is another aspect, where your language comes into the picture, and your skills of writing a code, whether how many syntactical errors you are doing, how you are writing a loop, like how many lines you are using to add a loop, can you optimize those, if you have same two comparisons, are you doing same comparison multiple times. So writing and building a coding skills is another aspect which you should work on, and usually we look into it, because nothing can happen without coding that out. Algorithm is first step, then coding is the next step. Then second is, apart from this, I think we have two more things here, is your logical reasoning and your problem solving aptitude, or your skills, which basically contribute to you in both the way. Okay, now how? Data structures is just a medium through which you will solve your problem, but how will you use that data structure? Now there is a worded problem given to you, that will not directly indicate you have to use an array here, or you have to create a tree out of the given inputs here. So that is where your logical reasoning part will come. That is why in those written rounds, we have these kind of questions, so they all contribute to building those skill sets in you. And second, one of the very popular things we have in most of the interviews, which is not directly technical, is this different problems and puzzles. So this is again same as any write a program kind of problem we have, but there we are not writing the code, we are trying to observe how you build solutions and patterns out of it. There are different puzzles, you will google and you will find a lot of puzzles. You don't have to practice maximum number of puzzles, you have to practice in terms of quality, like how do I approach that puzzles, what are the solution patterns we have. So basically, overall, we have this data structure, coding, logical reasoning, and then your problem solving and puzzle solving skills. These are the major things which any interviewer will ask. sugarcoating it in a different way. So start building your concepts and theory based on these factors. Like one thing is using a data structure algorithm, second is having different algorithms overing how will I search in it, how will I traverse in it, what is recursion, what is iteration, what do while do, what while do. So these all are basically different concepts which anyone can um, possibly judge you on when it comes to your technical interview round. Apart from this, how can we tell about the personal journey of an individual to an interviewer? So that is basically very depending on what you really have to put up. So I'll give you a few examples. I'll basically give you two examples. So suppose a candidate does not have really much of the experience in like not done much of the coding on the online on any site or don't have much. So in that case, I think your introduction should look like something, hello, I'm this and this. I What do you like about this whole aspect of why you are here? So you can add a line about here, maybe that I am really passionate about like solving the problems. It I really enjoy solving the problems. Or you can talk about you have done any project maybe on, there are so many framework these days, you guys know much more than us. So when we were at the interview, at your point 7 8 years back, we didn't really know what the different languages are. We used to always constrain ourselves with C, C++, and those data structures. Nowadays I see every one of you, most of you are either in Node, React, Django, Python, Java. So if you have done anything, try to highlight. This could be a cherry on your cake, because ultimately we use all these kind of different frameworks to build our web solutions here. So that could be good. That is something you should highlight in your personal journey. So personal journey can be here anything in introduction. It could be something related to the technologies and things you have worked, or it could be something, any personal small event which happened with you. But like it should not be like hello and then don't say up anything. So it is very depending on the person what you can add in that personal journey, but you can say anything, but main point, keep it brief again. So yes, I think we can go to the next question then. Gurpreet.
Okay. So the next question is how much DSA I need to practice in the service and product-based companies? Basically, there is no binary answer for it. For it means I cannot see for the service-based companies you have to prepare this way, and for the product-based companies you have to prepare another way. So it depends on what projects the companies are working on. Even I think that you are assuming that in the product-based companies they are like the work on high tech cutting-edge technologies, but in the service-based companies there is like the maintenance-related work mainly. But this is not the case. This is a myth. I would say in service-based companies they might have the projects of other people which are like cutting edge. Okay, so there is no different way to prepare for both of these kind of companies. You have to if you want to know like what kind of interview process is there, what complexity of the DSA they are asking. You have to go online and search the interview questions which they have previously asked, some of the interview experiences of the other people who have sit in their process. So this basically depends on the company to company, not on the type of the company, like service or product based. So this is all in it. We can move to the next question.
Yeah, the next one is it always necessary to come up with 100% right solution in an interview? So I won't say no and I won't say yes. It's actually dependent on the company and it's dependent on the interviewer. Um, Usually people go for your skills, how you approach a problem, your soft skills, things like that. Not actual solution, but yes, if you have the logic, you should be able to convert it into code, right? Dry running, not drying running, sorry, not dry running it properly. That's a separate issue. You need to work on it, but it's not always that you should have 100% working solution. On to the next one.
Okay. So the next question is regarding mostly the resume. So like what we should put in our resume, the experiences and the projects, and especially if you have not worked on a number of good projects. So in your resume, you should be highlighting. Okay, so we have seen in previously in our resumes that there are a number of students who write that they have been in this webinar or in this course or they have attended this event. But if you are just participating in it and you have not actually gained something out of it or applied it somewhere, so it would not be of much benefit to the company. So you should be first highlighting all the things that actually matter to you, that you have gained something from it or applied somewhere. Okay, and only focus on the key things that are relevant to your technical background. And if you do not have many projects, so first of all, it is very much possible that you might not have a number of projects in your own curriculum or maybe even in your summer internship. So there is always an opportunity for you to start your own projects, like out of interest. There are, I think, you can have your own ideas as well, or you could look up in the internet and you could find many ideas out there and you can implement it in your own technology that interests you. So I think those kind of projects are always something that you can do on your own. But even if you are not doing these projects, so having those kind of projects and experiences is basically a cherry on the. So having those projects is kind of for your own benefit, for your own experiences, because like working on a project, whether it is within a company or your own, the scale is definitely different, the problems would definitely be different, but at least you would have a familiarity, like how we should work within timeline, how we should be able to bind things, how we should look into the bigger picture, all the things that we have discussed so far. So like when you're doing it in an interview, you are also applying those things in a project. Like interview, because those are the same parameters that would be applied when you are in working in a company, when you are working on a project. So when you are doing these projects, these actually help you developing those skills in a different way. So these are actually for your own growth more. So even if they are missing, it would not really hamper much your interview if you have brushed up your technical skills good enough, because if both of them are missing, then I'm not sure how would you be able to clear the interview. So definitely uh, try to go through the projects, try to develop some projects on your own, but even if they are missing, that would not be a very big disaster for you. So focus on the technical skills. That would definitely go let you go through the interview process.
Yeah, I agree to it. To the adding to that point, like right now, since your placement session season has started, I'll stress to more work on your data structures and coding part rather than working on any project if you're not confident in the previous one. Because working on any projects, internship, these are some things which you have done over the time and you can show. Right now, it should be more on building those skills because those are the basic. They are required foremost than anything else. Okay, all right. Now this comes to our last question for this session, which would be my English is not that much good. Do I have a, but I do have good DSS skills. So does my English matter? My language matters in the interview process. I think here, guys, no, it does not matter much, but you can work on just immediately after identifying it. I'll suggest please try to improve that, because when you will come into your professional career, this becomes very important. You can, yes, we do talk in Hindi and all the time, but then we have clients, which you need to be professionally successful to deal with them. And English is something where we, as a common language, as we all know, so it is important to build yourself on it, but do not limit yourself on this one just for the interview process. It is very good that you understand that you need to improve on it, but yes, maybe for interview not a blocker, but in professional career it's something which you need to tackle on from the day one. This will definitely be able to help you, but you should be, try and practice to able to have a normal conversation in English. Like, it is not that you cannot even speak at all in English and you cannot अच्छे हो, दैट इज गुड. आप उस जो पॉइंट आपका वीक पॉइंट है, प्लीज वर्क ऑन इट. दिस विल माइट बी अ पॉइंट दैट वी नोट कि हाँ भाई इस बंदे में या दिस कैंडिडेट हैज टू इम्प्रूव दिस. We also stress on that, but then it will not ki haan, we'll simply say no because you do not know well, you're not conversing well in English, right? So with this, we our session ends there. So, but before we end, I would like to add a point. We have a lot of questions which are mostly around the Josh technology recruitment process, or when we are coming to those campuses, or what is our job location and all those things, what is the job description we are offering. But right now guys, this is more about in generic how the technical interviews are. Please look forward to have an pre-placement talk which will answer all such questions. So we have not really answered all those questions because this is today we are talking about the technical interviews, and we would soon be having a pre-placement talk to answer all such queries of yours in that. Okay, so now I think Nikita.
Thank you, Alicia, and thank you to all the other panel members. So, guys, that's all about it as far as the Q&A session is concerned. I hope most of your queries would have been answered through this webinar. Right? Before we call it a wrap, we would love to hear from you all about how the webinar was and if it was helpful for you and was able to clear your queries and doubts. Okay, so regarding the same, we will be sending across a form for a survey after the webinar. Okay, so please, you all are requested to fill the form, fill the survey, and let us know how the survey, how the webinar was, and if we can improve at any step. Okay, so you will be receiving this form on your registered email ID in an hour or two. Last but not the least, we would like to tell you that this webinar is just the beginning of preparing you for the placement season, and there will be many more to come, which will touch upon various aspects like software development, career development, or probably how you can grow in your professional career. We will also be having pre-placement talks, which will discuss more about JTG and its process. Thank you once again to all of you for participating, and we wish you all the best for your future career path. Okay, all the best and take care, guys. Bye bye.